Good morning. It is Saturday, the 28th of February, last day of Feb. And we slept like fucking shit. We barely slept. I don't know what the fuck happened, but I went to bed at like 8:15. Just couldn't switch off. So it's currently now just gone about 26 minutes past 1. And I'm tired of just laying in bed and staring at the ceiling. So yeah, we got basically zero sleep. So I'm going to get up, do cardio, and then hopefully that makes me tired enough that I can come back to bed and sleep some more. And luckily, since it's a Saturday morning, I can potentially get a little bit more sleep. I will have client check-ins to do, but you know, I need to make sure that I get my sleep in to be able to be there for my clients in the best capacity. So going to prioritize that. So yeah, anyways, let's get the morning started, get cardio banged out, get meal one banged out, and then try to get back to bed. So see you in the next clip. All right, good morning, guys. We are just ticking off the usual 40 minutes Stairmaster. We've got our trusty electrolytes. We've filled it up twice already, so when we finish that, we'll be 3 liters deep. We today have upper body on the cards. Like I mentioned earlier, we did sleep like shit, but this is where we need to remember that life isn't always going to be perfect. Your days aren't going to always be served to you on a silver platter. Sometimes you're going to draw the short straw, and that's okay. What I tell my clients is that perfect isn't a set of circumstances. Perfect is executing what you need to do regardless of the situation that you've been put in, and making the best of any situation. So sure, I could sit here and go, I slept like shit, I'm not going to do cardio, you know, I'm going to mope around and tell myself that I'm tired. Or I could just focus on putting one foot in front of the other, focus on the next task at hand, take little bite-sized pieces of the day and just chip away. One task at a time, no overthinking, no telling myself that I'm tired or I can't be bothered doing something. We don't think, we just do. So, with that being said, I'm gonna keep smashing this out. Then I'll see you on the street for some steps. Alrighty, 40 minutes of cardio is knocked out, and it wasn't as bad as I imagined it would have been on no sleep. So this is where mindset comes into play. If you tell yourself that you feel like shit, you're gonna feel like shit. If you tell yourself that you feel all right, maybe you'll feel all right. So don't ever just write off, you know, a day or whatever just because the conditions aren't optimal. So we're gonna smack out these 3,000 steps, get back inside, do our abs, get meal one in, and then get the fuck on with the day. So this morning, I am also going to take you through my Ninja Creami recipe. I've had some people been asking me how I make my Ninja Creami. So I have 2 empty Ninja Creami little pints. So I am going to take you through how I make that. So that will be interesting for you all. And then, as usual, I'll see you all at the gym because I'll film my upper session today. and then we'll go from there. So yeah, knock this out, get back home, do my bits and pieces, and most importantly, try to get another nap in. So we didn't do our usual fat burner this morning with caffeine in it, so we are caffeine free this morning. So hopefully that means it will be a bit easier to get back to sleep after meal one. So I'll see you all in the next clip. All right, guys, we are sitting down for meal one, which is undefeated. 4 corn thins, 125 pineapple, 100 cream of rice, 70 grams of whey drip, 150 grams of blueberries. This is the one that we made yesterday in yesterday's vlog, by the way. And along with that, we are going to go with honey onto these, that, and that. All right, I'm gonna sit down, I'm gonna enjoy this meal one, and then I'm going to reply to some client WhatsApp messages. Then I am going to try and get another nap in. So pray for me, guys. Let's see if we can get an extra hour or two in bed. So, all right, I'm gonna devour this and I'll see you in the next clip. All right, meal one is in, client responses are done. So I am going to try and attempt to get a little bit more sleep. So wish me luck, guys. See you in the next clip. All right, you badass motherfuckers. We managed to get an hour of extra sleep, which I will take. So that puts our total of sleep for the day at 1 hour. All right, I'm back up now. So I'm gonna do a couple of client check-ins after I just come and grab my water bottle so I can get some more fluid in. And then I'm going to show you the Ninja Creami recipe. So let's do it. Alrighty, here we are, and we are going to make our Ninja Creamies. So I've got 2 here, so obviously I'm going to put double the amount of ingredients in total on top of the scales here, because I've got 2 on the scales. So starting off with our empty Ninja Creami cups. Alright, what we're going to do is we're going to add frozen mango. Now, it might sound weird to add frozen mango, but frozen mango actually works really well to give the creamy like a super like ice creamy texture. So we're going to go 60 grams of that in each one. So 120 grams total on the scales. There we go. All right, back in the freezer. All right, now this is where we decide what we want to put into our Ninja Creami. So obviously you're going to use protein powder, and that's going to determine the main flavor of it. But let's start with the basic stuff that you want to put in first to actually make sure your Ninja Creami doesn't taste like shit. So we're going to go with some stevia, all right, which is just a sweetener. We're going to go 10 grams in each one. Boom, done. Alright, I like to put decaf coffee powder into mine as well. So 5 grams in each one. Gives it like a nice mocha flavor. There we go. Then I like to put cacao powder. I go a few grams in each one. There we go. Next up, I like to put a little bit of cinnamon into mine. Boom. Alright, now what I like to also add in is a bit of sugar-free maple syrup. Okay, the reason why I like to add sugar-free maple syrup is because one, it adds a bit of sweetness, but it also has like some thickeners, like some gums and some what do you call it? Like if I look on the back here, like cellulose gum, xanthan gum, stuff like that, and that just makes your Ninja Creami consistency more ice cream like. So about 10 ml into each one of those. It's done. All right, so those are all the extras that I like to add. Now it just comes down to what flavor do you want your Ninja Creami. So I like to put 60 grams total of whey into one Ninja Creami. So the flavor that we're going to use, and I like to use a combination generally. We're going to go half and half. We're going to go 30 grams of this Rise Cosmic Brownie. So 30 grams of that one into the Ninja Creami. There we go. And then the other 30 grams, we are going to use this Violet Crumble protein powder. All right. Bang. All right. And done. There we go. All right. Now, all we're going to do is we're going to add water to those. We're going to stir them up, and then we're going to put them in the freezer. So I'll show you that. This is what they currently look like. Okay, just a bunch of powder, really. All right, so we're just going to add in boiling water from said kettle. Alrighty. So, kettle. There we go. Now we're just going to stir those up and they'll be ready for the freezer. Alright, and that is how I make my Ninja Creamies. So you need to leave them in the fridge probably, I reckon 24 hours is best. So, or at least, you know, for the entire day. So, you know, 8 to 10 hours. But yeah, they come out best when you leave them at least 24 hours overnight. So I have 4 that are in there. So I constantly will make 2 at a time. So I'll make 2 and then there'll be also 2 in the freezer. I'll go through those 2 and then I'll make the other 2 and so on and so forth. So once they are done, you basically spin them, add fluid, re-spin them. I chuck mine back in the freezer again then for a couple of hours and then I eat them as my last meal. So I hope you enjoyed my Ninja Creami recipe. Anyways, we are now going to head on to work block number 2 and then it will be time for sauna, steps and pre-workout meal, then pre-workout, then train. So I'll see you all for the next video. Here we are again in the sauna, smashing out our 20 minutes per day. We've got 4 minutes left, so while I've got this 4 minutes, I reckon that we answer a Instagram question just for the fuck of it. So the Instagram question that I got was, how do you find living bodybuilding / the lifting lifestyle affects your life in general? Okay, I personally think that the bodybuilding lifestyle for me is a huge positive. Now there's a few reasons for this. Bodybuilding doesn't just teach you discipline in terms of, you know, your food intake, exercising and sticking to a routine. What it teaches you is it teaches you discipline that carries into every other aspect of your life. So when somebody becomes, you know, infatuated with bodybuilding and they get right into it and, you know, they start meal prepping and doing things like that, what you notice is that that bleeds into every aspect of, you know, their professional life and, you know, like things like their career and even their punctuality to events and things like that all generally improves, because bodybuilding teaches you that everything is earned, nothing is given, and that you essentially get out what you put in. So when you then apply that to other areas of life, like your career, you know, like even professional relationships, then what you find is that you start to level up in those aspects as well, because bodybuilding almost becomes like addictive in the sense that you're constantly leveling up. So when you start to apply that to other areas of your life, like let's say using it in your career to make more money, it really starts to come into like, fruition as to how important that structure and routine is in all aspects of life. So I personally believe that bodybuilding is the reason why I'm also so successful with pretty much all my other businesses and financial things and whatnot in the rest of my life, because like I said, it taught me that everything that I want I can have as long as I'm willing to bust my ass for it. So that's another Instagram question to answer for you guys, just as a little one-off. So I'm going to finish up in here now in a minute, and then I'm going to hit the road for some steps and then get pre-workout meal in, and then we are going to go train some upper body at Genesis. Let's go. Oh, another gorgeous day. Just out getting some steps before we eat the absolute most banger of a pre-workout meal that you guys already know what it is. Fish and rice with our corn thins and our beetroot and our honey. So let's finish up here, get these extra 3,000 steps ticked the fuck off, and then we can prepare our meal, eat, and then get ready for the gym. See y'all in the kitchen. All right guys, pre-workout meal time. You know what it is. Plate, 4 corn thins, boom. Then our fish and rice that we cooked up this morning, because we like to eat it cold. Once again, if you think I'm a weirdo for eating it cold, I don't give a fuck, because I do whatever the fuck I want to do. Look at that, perfection. Fish and rice. And along with that, our beetroot, which is just here in the tin, ready to eat, already weighed out. So that is pre-workout meal, guys. That's going to go down. Along with that, we've got to make sure that we have our supplements, which at the moment are going to be 1 omega fish oil, 1 magnesium, 1 betaine HCl. This is for digestion, as we want our pre-workout meal to digest as quick as possible. And lastly, 1 of Axis by Driven Nutrition, which is a GDA. So the ingredient in here that I'm really looking for is the dihydroberberine, which is a fantastic glucose disposal agent. Boom, done. All right, let's eat this pre-workout meal and then get ready for the gym. All right, guys, here's what we got going on. Intra-workout bottle, 70 grams of Driven Nutrition's Novo Drive, which is going to give us 50 grams of carbs and 20 grams of EAAs. Inside of that, we're also going to put 5 grams of creatine, 5 grams of glutamine, and a scoop of hydrate, along with, not that one, an additional serving of MPS Max, which is a EAA. And lastly, a little bit of extra taurine. Then, pre-workout bottle, we're going to go with serve of creatine, 2 serves of pumpage. We're also going to go with a serving of hydrate in that one. And then for our caffeine, we are going to have our current favorite, Lando Norris Monster. So I'll get all that together and then I will show you what the end product looks like. Alrighty, we've got our intra-workout here mixed up, pre-workout. Along with those, well, along with the pre-workout, we're going to take 1 capsule of methylene blue, 1 capsule of Dopa Drive, which is one of my favorite supplements from Driven Nutrition, and a tablet of SLU-PP 332. That is the setup. So I'm going to do a couple more client replies, start sipping on my pre-workout. Then the next clip you'll see will be me in the car with my Monster and my Zins, and I'll be one happy chap on my way to train upper body. So I'll see you in the car. All right, time to go to the gym, and we are going to double park these bad boys. We're gonna go one of these and one of these. So we've got the XQS Tropical. All right, this one here. If I can open the bloody thing. I don't know why they make them so difficult to fucking open. It's like, come on, give me my damn drugs already. There we go. Ooh, smells good. All right, one of these. Park that sucker. And then one of these bad boys. This one is apple. So, other side. All right, we are now officially double parked. And first sip of the morning. Yummy caffeinated beverage. All right, taste test on camera. Oh, all right. Let's go and train upper body. We are gonna fuck some shit up because we are highly caffeinated and highly stimmed the fuck out. So let's go. G'day. All right, you know the drill. Put my shit away and hook in. Now, I forgot my fucking tripod, so looks like I'm gonna have to just do it the old school way and set my camera up. Well, set my camera up with the drink bottle, so let's do it. Alrighty, guys. So, as you can see here, we are starting off the upper session with a dual standing bicep cable curl. If you've been following me long enough, you'll know now that I start all my upper sessions, including my upper day, my push and my pull session, with arms. Now, the reason for that is quite obvious. My arms are, in my opinion, lacking compared to the rest of my physique. This is due to my years of powerlifting, because in powerlifting, your goal isn't aesthetics, your goal isn't to have big arms, your goal is to move weight from point A to point B under competition standards. So arms are always an afterthought, put at the end of the session generally, and trained with less than ideal effort and less than ideal circumstances. After doing all your pushing and your pulling, generally it's much harder to give much of a fuck about your arm training, especially if you're a powerlifter. So now I prioritize them by putting them at the start of the session. So with the dual standing bicep curl, I did 2 sets and I hit PBs on both of those sets, which is amazing for 6 weeks out. Then I moved into the standing dual rope tricep cable extension. This movement here is awesome for me because it has the 2 cables. It means that I can actually line up my elbows a lot nicer than if it was just 1 cable with your typical rope attachment. So it allows my arms to move around my body, which gives me a really good contraction of the tricep, and they have definitely grown by doing so. We then moved on to this side raise machine here by Nautilus, which is an amazing piece of kit. As you can see here, I'm holding onto 2 5-kilo dumbbells. The reason for that is because I have maxed out this machine at the full stack. So I just hang on to dumbbells to increase the load. Once again, we hit a PB there on both sets. We then moved into this absolutely amazing machine by Nautilus, their pec fly that is loaded from the elbow. What I love about this machine is that it allows you to cue getting your elbows together and across your body and not just touching your hands together. A lot of guys will focus on just getting their hands together and their elbows will still be quite bent, and that means that they're not actually getting the pec fully short. We want to make sure that if we're going to train our pec through horizontal adduction, that we're getting our pec nice and short, because that's pretty much the only machine/movement pattern
that allows us to load the pec when it's fully shortened. So this machine is like a double whammy of efficiency. After the pec fly, we then moved on to a compound movement, which was the Nautilus incline plate loaded press. This machine is the tits as well. I mean, look, they're all the fucking tits at Genesis here. This gym is amazing. The reason why this machine is amazing is because, one, it converges, meaning the handles actually come together at the top, which is great for the pecs. And secondly, the loading curve on this is amazing too. 2 sets there, rep PBs as well. Lastly, we finished off our pec work with 1 set on the pec deck here. Okay, this one is also a Nautilus brand, and this machine pec fly is amazing. The only downside to it is that the full stack is too light for me. So this is the full stack here, but done after 4 sets of pec work, it's not too bad. I still managed to get like 13 or 14 reps with this and the full stack. So a couple of partials to finish off, and then we moved into back work. Now, back work, in my opinion, should always start with the lats, simply because lats are a little bit more technical to hit. They're usually a bit harder for guys to hit as well, because they're a bit harder to feel, a bit harder to line up your body right. But this Nautilus pull down is amazing for lining up the lat. I advise my guys to basically crunch over to one side slightly, the side that you're working. And the way that this machine is set up too, the cam actually means that it gets a little bit more difficult in the stretch position and eases off slightly at the shortened position, which means that it's much easier to feel the lat contract. So as you can see here, my back is absolutely fucking lit up and condition is looking really good. Obviously, being 6 weeks out, I would hope so. So we did 3 sets on each side for this machine, and then we moved into our mid and upper back work. Now, mid and upper back work I like to do on this day on the horizontal Nautilus row. On my pull day, I do this machine single arm and I focus on lats in the horizontal plane. But on my upper day, I use this machine bilaterally and I focus on upper back by making sure that my scapula protract and retract, and I get a really good stretch as I come forward and a really good contraction as I pull back. And that lights up my mid and upper back like crazy. Then we finished off biceps. All right, so we start with biceps and finish with biceps. We did 2 sets here of the alternating standing dumbbell curl. So the pipes are looking nice and veiny, which is awesome. I definitely have managed to catch my arms up over the past few years that I've dedicated my time and energy into bodybuilding. So all that arm work at the start of the session is definitely paying off. So super happy with that. And then to finish off the entire session, we did a little bit more side delt work. So we did 1 set here, all out to failure. What I like to do is I like to sit down. I like to take that to failure a couple of times. And then once I've fully fatigued, what I'll actually do is I will get up out of the seat and I will stand up and I will use a little bit more body English just so that I can really finish off those side delt fibers. So as you can see here, stand up, rep it the fuck out, and basically just keep going until the burn stops me in my tracks. So a couple extra reps here, eked it out, and then it was time to finish up the session.
Whoa. All right, we are just leaving the gym now. We have finished up our upper body session. So we're just gonna chuck our shit in the car and I'll give you a debrief when I jump in. All right guys, back in the car now, and what can I say? That session was an absolute fucking ripper. We hit PRs across the board. We felt amazing once we got going, and I am super happy with that session. The fact that we are 6 weeks out, the fact that we slept fuck all last night, the fact that my androgens are still very moderate is just all around great. So really great spot to be in. My health is in an amazing spot. We got bloods back the other day and they came back fucking mint. So like I said guys, bodybuilding does not have to be unhealthy, okay? Sure, there's gonna be times where you feel like shit, but as long as you stay on top of your health, you manage your markers like your blood pressure, all that kind of stuff, you don't abuse drugs, okay? Because trust me, drugs will not make up for poor lifestyle habits, poor dietary choices, and poor fatigue management. You can do this in a healthy manner. So like I said, super happy with the session. Wrapped up with 10 minutes on the Stairmaster, absolutely blowing wind as I finished that off. And yeah, super happy. So
we're going to go home now. We're going to eat, we're going to relax and chill out for the rest of the day, speak to clients, and that will be the day done. So that will be the end of this vlog. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow for tomorrow's vlog. So see you then, guys. Love you all. Peace out. And to my haters, a big fuck you. Bye-bye.